You probably use AI every single day. Maybe you rely on ChatGPT to draft emails. Maybe you lean on Gemini for quick research. Or maybe you keep hearing about Claude, but you haven't actually made the jump. These three dominate the professional landscape right now, but the marketing departments want you to believe something that simply isn't true anymore. Look at this diagram. We are told these platforms overlap perfectly, that there is one single, definitive best tool that can do everything. In reality, these are three separate tools with specific strengths and weaknesses. Because of that illusion, millions of professionals are defaulting to whichever AI they tried first. They are unknowingly sending out emails with flat robotic writing or making decisions based on bad summaries, simply because the tool they are paying for doesn't match the specific task they are doing. To find out which one you should actually be using, I put all three through a rigorous baseline test. Every test was run live on the paid pro plans for Claude, ChatGPT, and Gemini. Identical prompts, identical conditions, no editing. I evaluated them on 5 criteria: depth of reasoning, the human tone of their writing, processing long documents, pulling real-time data, and coding efficiency. By the end of these tests, you will see exactly how to align your $20 subscription strictly to your own daily workflow frictions. This comparison matrix tracks our 5 testing criteria. Our evaluation starts with complex reasoning. I wanted to see how these models think through an ambiguous business problem, not a simple trivia question. I gave all 3 the exact same scenario. A startup has 50 lakhs in runway, 8 months left, and a choice between hiring 2 senior engineers or spending on paid marketing. They have product market fit but low organic growth. ChatGPT gave a balanced answer. It covered both sides of the coin like a standard consultant. Gemini pulled in some helpful real-world framing about growth stage startups, but both essentially handed me generic lists of pros and cons. Claude took a different route. It refused to just answer the prompt. It pointed out that the real question is what is causing the low organic growth in the first place, and it provided its recommendations conditional on that answer. It improved the premise before solving it. That same capacity for nuance showed up when we shifted to heavy data processing. I pasted a 4,000-word technical research paper on language model efficiency into all 3, asking for a non-technical summary under 300 words with 3 actionable takeaways for a product manager. ChatGPT gave a decent summary, but left the actionable takeaways full of technical jargon. Gemini actually struggled here, making small but noticeable errors by hallucinating details that strayed from the source document. Claude nailed the strict constraints. It kept the word count down, translated the dense report into actual plain English, and delivered 3 specific, practical takeaways a product manager could immediately bring into a meeting on Monday. Next, I ran a tone and writing test. I asked them to write the opening paragraphs of an apologetic but confident email to a client regarding a project delay. With ChatGPT, you can feel the template underneath the words. Gemini produced a stiff, formal draft. Claude, however, used natural word choices. The apology felt genuine, without groveling, and the transition into a confident tone felt distinctly human. For professionals whose work centers on tone-sensitive communication or parsing dense logic, Claude's output requires far less structural cleanup than the other 2. But deep thinking has a limitation. If your workflow requires up-to-the-second data access, strong writing mechanics ladder less than real-time retrieval. Bringing our matrix back to check live data capabilities, I asked all 3 models for the top AI news stories from this current week. Claude flagged its limitations, explaining what it didn't know about breaking news. ChatGPT used its browsing feature to pull stories, but it occasionally mixed up dates and timelines. Gemini executed this well. Because of its direct Google search integration, it pulled the latest news stories and paired them with accurate source citations. That connection to Google is a major workflow advantage. Gemini sits natively inside Google Drive, Google Docs, and Gmail. You can ask it to summarize an email chain and instantly drop the answer into a document without switching tabs. The core trade-off for that integration is the writing quality. You have to be willing to tolerate significantly stiffer, more formal outputs compared to its competitors. For researchers and Google Workspace power users, the speed of accurate real-time data often proves more valuable than stylistic nuance. That brings us to our final evaluation criteria: dependable performance and coding fixes. I gave all 3 models a broken Python script containing a silent off-by-1 data processing error. I provided no hints, just the broken code and the error message. Gemini found the bug, but provided a verbose, beginner-focused explanation. ChatGPT found the bug and provided a clean code resolution exactly the way most developers want it. Claude successfully identified the bug and even flagged a secondary error I hadn't mentioned. But for daily development fixes, ChatGPT remains the most straightforward tool. That utility extends across ChatGPT's broader ecosystem. Between its plugin library and custom GPTs, it is a capable all-rounder for random daily tasks. The trade-off for that consistency is tone. ChatGPT gives safe, middle-of-the-road answers that often lack a sharp perspective. For generalists who manage unpredictable requests and prioritize breadth over specialized depth, ChatGPT serves as a dependable baseline for varied daily tasks. To choose the right pro plan, identify your primary daily friction. For complex logic, tone-sensitive drafting, or long documents, select Claude. For live search data and native Google Workspace tasks, select Gemini. For dependable coding fixes and high-volume tasks, select ChatGPT. For many professionals, an effective tech stack right now is paying for Claude to handle your heavy primary thinking and writing, while keeping the free version of Gemini open for rapid real-time searches. The highest return on your investment in AI comes from matching the specific capability of the tool to the specific constraints of your daily work.